Let's talk about it a little bit more with Jeff Duncan, who's back with us now from St. Louis. All right, so this is the reason the president has to, or is decided to do this by executive order, is because the Congress wouldn't do it on their own. And Evan Bayh talked about this the other day when he stepped down as one of the reasons, Congress can't get anything done. Would you agree with him? If you can't have a commission to tackle the deficit, which everybody, Democrat, Republican, anybody, agrees is a problem long term, if you can't have a commission to tackle that, then what can you get approved?
Well, exactly, and I think that's why you're seeing a lot of these senators basically stepping down, saying we can't get anything done together. And it seems at this point the president can't bring both parties together to get something done. So now we have an executive order of some commission that will probably go on and not really make any formal decisions, probably in the next year or two, when already we're having these massive deficits. Obviously, what needs to happen with the elections coming up in November is some very strong-willed people that are going to want to make very difficult decisions by tackling, reducing the deficit and decreasing taxes, which is a very difficult situation because you're going to have to hit the entitlement programs, and that's Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid. And boy, that's tough when you have to go to the voters and talk about decreasing all these entitlement programs at the same time decreasing taxes and decreasing the deficit. This is going to be a big change in Congress, and hopefully the new people that come in are going to be able to work together on these very difficult situations.
Well, that's a little bit of a cop-out, though, to say that for the people that are in power right now, that they don't have the responsibility to come together on any issue right now. It seems like you do have politicians stepping down saying, well, Congress can't get anything together. Then you have finger pointing at the president saying he can't get everybody together. Well, here's a solution. He's bringing together people from both sides to try to tackle a very big issue. This is not unlike what Clinton did. So what's the problem here? Don't we have to put the responsibility on the shoulders of the people in office right now to fix this right now, not wait for the new people to come into office?
Well, I would agree with that they should be tackling the problem right now, but for whatever reason, these people cannot get along, and they're stepping down and just getting away from the problem, and that's why I say it's so important.
And is that acceptable to you? I mean, as a voter,
no, not
is that
at all.
acceptable?
Not at all. It's not acceptable whatsoever. But it seems like they've given up at this point, and instead of looking back, I'm looking forward and saying, hey, hopefully we have some very tough people that are going to be elected into the new Congress and work these difficult problems out. I totally agree. It seems like they just are abandoning the ship and saying, we can't get anything done.
Right.
We're leaving. We'll leave it to somebody else. Well, what happened to you when we elected you a few years ago to stand in office and deal with these very difficult problems?
Fine.
Obviously, the politicians...
Actually, two quick questions, and then we're a little bit cramped for time, so we're going to move on. But two quick questions. One is on timing. The idea that this has to be dealt with today, most economists will tell you, yeah, you need a plan today, but implementing it now might actually harm the economy as opposed to help it, because you need to keep spending and keep taxes low so that you can prop up a fragile economy. And the second question does go to taxes. You talked about decreasing taxes. Longer term, the reality is taxes are going up, and have to, don't they, to cover the longer term budget deficit programs. Even if you cut entitlement spending, you're still going to have to increase taxes at some point, right?
Well, you have to get the economy stabilized and once again get the economy moving. The issue is you have, like you said, the large deficit, and you have increasing taxes. What I'm advocating is that you have to give the money back to the people, get the economy moving,
right.
And then the very difficult decisions have to be made by the President and Congress to decrease spending. This notion of increasing spending to get us and raise taxes to get us out of this problem,
right.
In my opinion, this is going to make the problem.
One or the other, which I would guarantee is what this deficit commission is going to say, but that's why they couldn't agree on it, because the Democrats don't want to cut spending, supposedly, and the Republicans don't want to increase taxes, supposedly. But again, most independent experts will tell you both will have to happen at some point, maybe not this year, but down the line. Anyway, Jeff, thank you very much. Jeff Duncan is in St. Louis. He'll join us on our internet show in the next hour, but we have to run through our agenda and do some other things right now.